from Hack Spirit. Never heard of it, but the story is an interesting one, so I don't need to have heard of this online rag. 9 signs you're winning at life, even if it doesn't feel like it. Of course, the real title should be 9 signs you're losing at life. At least 7 of these are, signs you're losing anyway. So let's jump right in. We sometimes... Okay, that's something I don't want to read. So the story begins by saying, do you ever compare yourself to others? No. Why would I do that? I'm not other people. I'm me. I'm singular. So why the hell would I compare myself to other people? It's hard not to, right? No, it's pretty easy. I just don't do it. They don't have a problem in that regard. Whether it's your neighbor's flashy new car, the hell do I care? By the way, nobody has a flashy car where I live, okay? And very soon, nobody's going to have a flashy car. Very few anyway. A colleague's promotion, or your old school friend constantly posting incredible photos of their life around the world. Travels. Around the world, people travel a lot because they're trying to escape their lives, okay? A lack of meaning and purpose and fulfillment, all right? When I see that happening, I know what it's actually being done for. And it's not representative of a higher quality of living, believe you me. It's enough to make you feel, to put it bluntly, like you're missing out on life. No, I'm not a materialist like the person that wrote this, so I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I'm not missing out on anything. No. Why can't you be sipping, I don't know what that is, or Copacabana, what's it, the caipirinhas on a Copacabana beach like everyone else? Everyone else? What everyone else? How many people are sipping exotic drinks on beaches in Copacabana? Not the people in my salary bracket. And by the way, I have no interest in that in the first place. Of course, a lot of people might say, you just saying that because you couldn't afford it. Even if I could, I wouldn't do it. I don't care about that kind of stuff. I'm not a materialist. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay? And while it might feel like you're lagging behind, it doesn't. Don't worry. You could actually be doing better than you think. Okay? Check out these 9 signs that you're in fact winning at life. Most of them are actually signs you're a loser. Let's get into them. Number 1. I didn't say all, maybe a 7. 6 or 7. Yeah, the majority. If they were all signs that you were winning, I wouldn't comment. Number 1, you don't care about social media. I don't. That's true. Okay, so I'm a winner. Thank you. Any other arbitrary qualifiers that say I'm a winner? Now, don't get me wrong. Apps like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook can be fun. Can they? I mean, TikTok is fun in that sometimes I go on there to look for content to make fun of by single mommies and such. Other than that, not really. Maybe that's what they mean, I guess. I don't know. Facebook, I don't find it particularly fun. I use it to find content to comment on. And Instagram, not really. Not really. Instagram is a lefty cesspool. No, thank you. But they have a darker side. In fact, studies show they can have a real impact on your mental health, only if you're weak-minded. Talking about anxiety, depression, loneliness. Well, I don't get anxious or depressed or lonely, so it doesn't really apply to me. Here's the thing. Human beings are social creatures. Now, you don't say, they are, for the most part. I'm not really, but I'm an exception. But yeah, I would say generally that's true. We crave interaction. I suppose there's truth to that. I mean, I am making this content, which to a large extent I enjoy because I get to interact with my viewers, so okay. And connection with others. Social media is designed to tap into this innate characteristic so it can manipulate and control you and teach you a new normal, which is actually abnormal, which makes it incredibly addictive, only if you have a weak mind. Remember this, often those people who are most active on their socials are actually suffering behind the scenes. It's like they're trying to convince the world how great their lives are by selling the perfect image, kind of like all those trips that people take, and then they take pictures of themselves and post them on their social media to convince you and themselves that they're having a great life, when actually they're just trying to distract themselves from their lack of meaning and purpose. So if you're able to put down your phone and avoid chasing the likes, it could mean that you're in fact incredibly secure with yourself. I would say I probably am extremely secure with myself. That's correct. Which leads nicely to our second point. Let's see if I agree with this one, making you a winner. You live in the moment. I think this can be good or bad depending on how you interpret it. Let's see if they get the right interpretation. Have you been to a music concert recently? No. I got to go to a music concert to live in the moment? I don't think so. I bet everyone has their phone out, frantically trying to capture the event. No, I very rarely, if ever, film anything. Certainly not when I'm out and about. What are you talking about? Right, that would take you out of the moment, right? I agree with that. I agree. These people have one thing in common: they're not living in the present. Okay, so far so good. You even see it in restaurants. See, I don't understand this. Why do people take pictures of their food and that they'll like post it on Instagram and their other social media links and Twitter, X? Why do you do that? Just eat your meal. Well, why are you putting pictures up of your food? To get other people envious of what you're eating? I don't get it. It's very odd. A group of people, I mean, you're looking for validation and attention and approval from others to somehow validate your life, and it makes no sense to me. A group of people sat at a table all on their phones rather than enjoying the company of those around them. I don't understand that. That's so bizarre. You're not in the moment. You're not where you're not in the moment. You're not in the place that you're actually physically existing within. You're somewhere else. That's bad. The Stoic philosophy addresses this head on, to a point. The basic idea is that the past and the future are not under our control. No, you got it wrong. The basic idea is that they don't exist. There is no future and there is no past. They're not real. So you can't travel back in time. You can, in a way, travel ahead in time, but you're not really. Okay, there's just a time dilation effect if you travel beyond a certain speed, but that's not actually time travel. But anyway, they're wrong here. So yeah, okay, now you're getting off base here. The present moment is all anyone actually possesses. That's true. So we must be mindful of the present moment and focus on what's real and graspable. That's correct. Why is this even important? There's no point in dwelling on past mistakes because they can't be changed. I would disagree. Okay, there's a problem with this though, because past mistakes and past behavior, generally speaking, are a pretty good indicator of what your future and present behavior will be. And if you're continuing to make those mistakes, then it is important to look back on and analyze the past so that you can learn from past blunders. And there's no point worrying about the future because it might never happen. To a certain extent, that's correct. You certainly don't want to dwell on a future that doesn't exist or be worried or concerned, but you do want to plan for it. All it does is create fear and anxiety. That is correct, but it depends on how you are approaching the future and why you're thinking about it, and your mindset and where you are in the present time. You can think about, you can plan without actually existing within those two non-existent spheres, i.e. the past and the future. Therefore, if you spend the majority of your time living in the moment, you're probably winning in life. Not necessarily. It depends on what your metrics for being a winner are. But anyway, number 3, I agree with most of it. You have a clear trajectory. Life is a journey, not a destination. Correct. That is true. Which is why you should never compare yourself to others. I agree. Everybody's journey is different because everybody's destination is different. So, yeah. Or people can end up journeying together. Their past could coalesce and they could be on a same journey even though their destinations could be different. But anyway, you don't know where they've come from or what they've had to go through to arrive where they are today. That's true. To be honest, it comes down to one thing: direction. Well, there's some truth to that. You can infer a lot, though, based on other people's experiences as well as their current behavior and mindset. You can pretty much, to a very large extent, using logic, reason, and critical thinking, map backwards their life's course with some decent amount of accuracy. But anyway, let me explain. Sure, maybe you don't have $1 million villa overlooking the mountains, a beautiful partner who loves you unconditionally, or a dream job, whatever that might be. But as long as you're heading in the right direction, that's all that matters. And what is the right direction, right? Well, it depends on the person. It's different for each individual, right? Because we're all different people. That's why goofballs like those idiots at the Daily Wire saying you must do this to be happy, you must have a wife to be happy, you must have kids to be happy, you must have a wife and a family to have purpose, you must have kids to find fulfillment. You must have family to be a winner is total it's absurdity. It's nonsense. Because eventually you'll get there. But I thought you said it wasn't about the destination but the journey. So you may never reach that destination. I'm talking about continual progression, baby steps towards your goals, a real purpose in life. Yeah, but it's the journey that matters, not the destination. But you have to have a destination so you can have a journey to begin with. Otherwise, you're just wandering aimlessly through the world like a guy sitting in a tiny little dinghy without an anchor in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. You're just going to be thrown in whatever direction the winds and the tides take you. Not a great way to go through life. Directionless and rudderless. Plan the work, work the plan. And things don't always run smoothly. You'll inevitably hit some hurdles. Yeah, you don't know what's around the corner. That's what makes life interesting. That's what makes life exciting. You don't know what's going to happen or even have to replot your life course. But you're okay with that because you stay positive during the tough times. Okay, I don't know that I agree with this. First of all, what does positive mean? Are you talking about optimistic? But maybe sometimes optimism isn't realistic. So I don't really agree with this one. Resilience is all about bouncing back or adapting in the face of adversity. I would agree with that to a certain extent. You do need to be able to adapt, especially in the face of obstacles in life. Absolutely. Otherwise, you won't be able to overcome them. And people who are winning in life have it by the bucket load. But you haven't defined winning. They tried to define winning by saying that you have a clear trajectory and you live in the moment. I'm not necessarily sure I agree with all. Well, I already addressed those things. Anyway, have you ever noticed it's very odd that they said that it's not the destination, it's the journey, and yet they're talking about being a winner, and then they're talking about it's important that you have a clear trajectory, i.e., I infer that to mean destination. Then they're talking about a destination as if that's the important part, but actually it's not. Anyway, I think they could have worded this a little better. Maybe I'm just nitpicking. Anyhow, have you ever noticed how some people just crumble under even the slightest challenge? Yes. They'd rather bury their head in the sand and wave the white flag than attack the issue head on. Yes. I blame a lot of that on helicopter parenting. How are you ever supposed to achieve your goals with this attitude? You won't. Part of it is having a growth mindset, okay? Could you please explain what that is? In other words, you believe that anything is possible, but see, there's some pie-in-the-sky idealistic garbage here. Anything is not possible. I cannot jump to the moon. I can't jump to the moon, okay? But anything is not possible. So throwing in stoicism here to try and bolster and validate your viewpoints is just absurd when you're clearly misunderstanding a stoic approach and view of life. Anything is not possible. Derp, derp. Your skills or abilities aren't set in stone. There's only a certain amount of weight you can lift, and no matter how much you train and how much you work, you're going to eventually reach a plateau, and you cannot lift more than that ever. That is your personal best. So that's set in stone. So again, wrong. And with enough practice and perseverance, you can improve. You ever heard of diminishing returns? Yes, improvement can continue up until the time of your croaking. However, the returns are minuscule. But it also depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about certain things that are set in stone, like a strength, personal bests in regards to, moving heavy objects, no. There is a plateau, and in fact, you will continue to get better to a certain point, and then you're going to go downhill. Likely, as you get older, once you reach a certain age, your strength is going to start to decrease, and also, you're going to reach a certain peak, regardless of age, and you're not going to get beyond that. But if you're talking about like skills, like things that with practice can improve, like playing a piano or violin, yes. That's true. But there's some categorizational, mixing up going on here. There's some confusing of categories. Or they're just not getting into detail, explaining things very well by being overly general and saying that anything can improve. Anything is possible. No, incorrect. Conversely, those negative Nancy's, it's negative to be realistic. That annoys me, by the way, when people say that. You're negative when you're really just being realistic. And you would achieve more if you were realistic, than if you just were optimistic. Those negative Nancy's have a fixed mindset. No, they don't. I mean, some do. So I'm not an optimist or a pessimist. I don't believe in an optimistic or pessimistic mind view, because people who are optimistic, they only see the good. They don't allow themselves to see the possible negative outcomes, which would allow them to prepare better if they did. And they would be able to adapt more as well, and critically analyze situations in their life better if they had a more whole, total, complete view of things, both the good and the bad. And pessimists are equally bad because they only see the negative. You need to see the whole picture if you want to improve, get better at anything, and that includes life. They say things like, I'm not very good at that, so I won't even try. They don't get it. I agree with that. You don't want to have an optimistic or a pessimistic mindset. What they're saying here is you should be optimistic, not pessimistic. No, you should be neither. You should be realistic. Number 5, you make mistakes and learn from them. Incorrect. So here's another one that's wrong. Learn from the mistakes of others, because that's what real wise men do. Now, of course, you're going to make mistakes, and you should learn from those, but the wise man learns from the mistakes of other people. At the end of the day, we're all human. I don't know what that means. Mistakes are inevitable. Oh, is that what that means? Then that's correct. Whether they're little mistakes like losing your cool with someone, or large mistakes like losing thousands of dollars in dodgy investments. Yeah, but neither is necessary. And neither is going to necessarily happen if you do the due diligence and the proper amount of research and prepare, and then you will learn from the mistakes of others, and you won't make dodgy investments, or you'll be far less likely to do so. I mean, in the end, you can't account for the total complete honesty of strangers, and anything can happen no matter how well you prepare or research. So an investment could go belly up no matter how solid it seems. But you'll be a lot less likely to make dodgy investments if you learn from the mistakes of others. That's what I'm saying. But people who are winning at life understand one important thing. You haven't really outlined in any definitive way what winning at life means. You're far too ambiguous in this article. Only a fool makes the same mistake twice. Yeah, I would say only a fool doesn't learn from the mistakes of others. In other words, you've got to learn from your mistakes. This means reflecting on what happened and putting a plan in place to avoid the same happening again in the future. Here's a quote from Nelson Mandela. That commie? Why would I listen to that dude? That terrorist, communist, pinko, socialist scumbag. I'll never lose, I either win or I learn, which is a truly inspiring way to look at anything you do in life. Number 6, you have a great sense of humor. Yeah, I would agree with that one. You need to have a great sense of humor, but what you really need to have a sense of humor about is yourself, and you need to be able to laugh at yourself and not take yourself too seriously. Being able to laugh until tears run down your face is a clear sign you're winning in life. Is that a clear sign? That seems like a very arbitrary qualifier. Very arbitrary qualifier. I don't think you should take yourself that unseriously, or life for that matter. You should, in fact, take life very seriously. I said you should be able to laugh at yourself and have a sense of humor about yourself, but and some of the vicissitudes of life, sure, but in your approach to life and how you live it, you need to be ice cold serious about it. There are just so many benefits. Let's see what they have to say. First of all, humor is a natural stress reliever. I don't believe in stress, so there's that. And triggers the release of endorphins, feel-good hormones, which promote a sense of well-being. Don't believe in that either. People laugh too much and don't take life seriously enough. And laughter and approaching everything as if it's a joke is just as bad as taking yourself too seriously. Now, can you take life too seriously? Sure. There's moderation in all things, but this seems to be telling people to take life with as little seriousness as possible. Seems like another one of these indulge in the hedonistic pleasures of life, and that includes taking humor to an extreme. I do not agree with this one. It also improves your mood and helps maintain a positive outlook. I don't believe in positive outlooks. I believe in realistic outlooks. So you lost me. Again, not to mention humor is contagious. That's another bad thing. So those around you will also get a boost to their mental health. Oh, is that what they'll get? Okay, well, they just use humor as a crutch and a way to avoid the serious issues of life and or taking them on and dealing and coping with them. This can actually make you more attractive and improve your social status within a group. So what? What the hell do I care? What am I, your personal comedian? It's my job to make you laugh and feel better? What am I, your fool? The bottom line is that if you're able to laugh at whatever life throws at you, I disagree. I don't think it's a good idea to laugh at everything that life throws at you, because everything life throws at you, some of it's going to be downright disgusting, nasty, vicious, horrible stuff. And you might say, well, that's why it's even more important to laugh. No. I mean, I need to laugh so it doesn't affect me in a negative manner. Why would it affect me in a negative manner? Where's my strength? So what you're saying is, I really shouldn't learn to deal and cope with the struggles and obstacles of life as they come. I should use laughter as some kind of coping mechanism. Yeah, I disagree. I don't do that, never have. And guess what? I'm real strong mentally, like super strong. So give me a break. More nonsense. This person doesn't understand stoicism at all. Number 7, you can be yourself. Disagree! You're going to say that to Ted Bundy? Jeffrey Dahmer? Just be yourself, Jeff. I know that means eating more gay friends or gay love interests, but be you. I don't agree. What if you're a horrible human being? Should you still be yourself? I don't think so. I'm talking about being authentic or true to yourself. Yeah, what if who you are is crap? This might seem obvious. No, it doesn't, because it's a bad idea in some cases. But it isn't always so simple. In fact, this study showed that over 64% of people are hiding something from their employer. I hide a hell of a lot more than that from my employer. What are you kidding? Of course. All they need to know about me is that I'm a hard worker, that I'm on time, I do my job, and whatever else, it's none of their damn business. Yeah, okay, so what? And we're all guilty of conforming. Oh, yeah, damn that conformity, yo, unless you're a woke libtard. Then you got to conform. You got to conform to the new normal wokey, libtardo, liberal, idealistic, your truth, my truth. I can be a chick even if I'm a dude. A dude can be a chick way of viewing the world. Then you got to conform. So really they're only talking about the, traditional normal meaning of the word conformity in regards to like tradition, conservatism, Christianity, Catholicism, of course, yeah. Got to deconstruct those. Or putting on a brave face to avoid conflict. Yeah. Is that what people do to avoid conflict? They put on a brave face? Can't you just be brave? No. You got to be weak. So you need therapy. Yeah. So that you can be indoctrinated into the new normal. Why does it matter? Authenticity fosters genuine connections with others, does it? I mean, yeah, I agree you should be an authentic person, but you shouldn't be like a mushy, gushy, open, vulnerable, throw open the floodgates, tell everybody everything about what you think and feel. And I mean, that just gives people, other people power over you and your feelings and your emotions. Too much access, yo. It improves trust. With who? You don't even want to be that open with the chick you're dating or your wife or girlfriend. And of course, if you live in the West, you don't want to have a wife, but you know what I mean. It improves trust and helps you form meaningful relationships. I mean, you have to be honest in regards to your interactions with other people. Sure, but especially if you're a man, you don't want to be totally, completely, 100% open and vulnerable with a woman, despite what they tell you. That's the best way to get a woman to lose interest and lose respect for you and no longer want to be with you. So, disagree with this one. I mean, at least the way they're framing it. Being yourself and being authentic doesn't mean you share everything. What the hell are you talking about? Not to mention, pretending to be someone you're not can actually be incredibly draining. Whoa. This is a false dichotomy. I never said... Wait. So if you're not being authentic and yourself, you're pretending to be somebody else. But the way that you framed it is being authentic and being yourself means being 100% open and sharing everything with everyone. These are my two choices, being completely, totally open. Or if I don't do that, I'm pretending to be somebody else. What the hell are you talking about? What nonsense. So if you can comfortably be yourself, which I am, no matter what the situation, which I do, it's a telltale sign that you're winning at life. But of course, I'm not doing it the way they say I should do it. So by their definition, I would be a loser at life. You're not being yourself if you're not sharing every thought and feeling and, opening up to everybody and letting your employer know everything about you. What the hell are you talking about? That's the best way to lose my job. If I told my employer everything I thought and felt, I'd be unemployed tomorrow, and so would most of the people out there. What nonsense. Number 8, you understand that moderation is key. Yeah. So this article is a bunch of lies with some truth sprinkled throughout. And this is how you feed people propaganda and get them to believe what you're saying. More, you tell the truths so that they view the lies in an equally valid light. It's a very good but also very tried and true propaganda manipulation technique. Life is a constant balance. A hedonistic lifestyle might sound appealing. No, you pushed for quite a bit of that hedonism throughout this article, but it's extremely shallow and probably won't result in any profound satisfaction or purpose. Probably? No, it definitely won't. At the same time, spending your whole life working 80 hours per week also sounds pretty empty, does it? I think it would depend on what you're doing. If you're doing it to support a family and children, then there's quite a bit of meaning in what you're doing. You need to make short-term and long-term priorities. Do I? Do I really? I thought you said it was a marathon, not a sprint. Oh, now there's some sprints throughout that marathon? Really? Yeah, of course there are. Too many generalities here and vagaries. Personal objectives and the needs of loved ones, plus nail the work-life balance. Now they're getting a little more specific and telling you how you need to live your life. Yeah, you got a lot of stuff wrong. Not listening to you. Sorry. Sounds complicated, right? It's not. Yeah, it isn't. I mean, the way you framed it, it is, because you're all over the place and you're wrong about 90% of this. People who are winning in life naturally moderate their behavior accordingly. Okay. Not sure what they mean by moderating behavior. That goes for addictions too. Well, I don't have any addictions, so like that's not a problem. Are you saying that addictions are okay as long as you moderate them? Well, if I moderate them, how's it an addiction? It make no sense. Things like drugs, alcohol. It's okay if you do drugs and alcohol, just don't, get addicted. But if you're addicted, moderate that addiction. What? Or even playing too many video games. These vices immerse us in alternate worlds and distract us from all our problems. I agree. As well, they distract us from the moment, the present. If you can face your issues head on rather than distracting yourself from them, you're probably winning at life. See? They mix in some truths with mostly lies. Number 9, you have few really close friends. Okay. Having a few friends makes me a winner? I don't get that. As you get older, it gets harder to make lasting friendships. That's true. In fact, because you become more set in your ways, and therefore you're less likely to tolerate abhorrent, bad, degenerate, or behavior that does not align with your moral and ethical view of the world. You're less likely, essentially, to compromise in those regards. In fact, according to a recent study, the average person in the U.S. has close to 3 to 5 close friends. It's more than I got. I must be really successful then. Perhaps this is because we become more individual, opinionated, and simply more picky. Yeah, of course, in women's case, that means they think their value is greater as they get older. And they're less likely to find any man that'll want to be with them, or that they'll want to be with. Yeah. That's why I said buy futures in boxed wine and cat food. You can't go wrong there. As adults, we demand more than just a game of hopscotch or tag. We need trust, support, and someone to confide in. I don't demand any of those things. I'm not more demanding. I'm just pickier about the moral and ethical compromises that I will tolerate in others. And I want people who more closely match with my virtues and values. We also tend to go for quality over quantity with good reason. Having a huge friend group can be draining. I guess. Never had one, so I don't know. Having to keep up with all those social obligations, we also risk spreading ourselves too thin. I guess. I don't know what you mean. In what regard? Of course, there's a flip side to this as well. People who are winning in life have no problem dropping friends. I've never had any problem with that. I don't become that attached to people. Okay. You might want to escape a bad crowd or get away with from old habits. Oh, that's a good reason definitely to drop somebody. I say kick toxic people out of your life for sure, even if they're family. Of course, again, I'm very much a practical realist. So, yeah. For example, you might have an old friend group that loves getting drunk every weekend, but you've moved on from this chapter of your life and want to focus on other priorities. I agree with that, and that's perfectly fine. There are 8 billion people on this planet. Chances are you can find like-minded individuals. don't care to. It doesn't interest me. I mean, if it does, more power to you. Who can be mutually supportive of your life goals? Don't need them, especially not for that. I am supportive of my own goals and choices, so not necessary. But again, I'm really, really secure in my life, so it's not necessary. So there's another example of how the left delivers propaganda. And they throw in a bunch of truths to get you to suck up the lies more readily. So did this person who wrote this article, which seems to be a woman, have an accurate take on Stoicism? No. But let me know what you think in the comment section, and please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. Let me know what you thought of my commentary, and also hit that notification bell if you like and subscribe, because YouTube is not going to notify you of any new content I post. I guarantee you that. Well, in most cases they won't anyway. Also, please consider becoming a contributor on my Patreon, where I am the Realist Philosopher. Any support there would be greatly appreciated. Amount doesn't matter, just so long as you offer some support. Super chats are also open, and again, don't forget to subscribe here and on my alt tech platforms, where I am also the Realist Philosopher on Rumble and BitChute. And on that note, I'm out of here. I am the Realist Philosopher, also known here on YouTube as the Bachelor Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care.